Welcome back to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. It's the 24th annual. I am your host for this segment, Kimberly Ewing. I'm delighted to be here with our special honorary mentionable award-winning filmmaker, Parker Michels-Boyce. He's the cinematographer and editor of Catching Pinecones. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
I'm so excited. Congratulations on
Thank you. Yeah.
What an award.
Big
for
surprise
our
for us
festival.
last night, and we're super happy with that result.
And you get to show again tonight, is that right? What
Yes.
time is it, just so if anybody's watching?
It's in a session, starts at 7 at the Foundry.
Okay.
So we're really glad that some more people are going to be able to see this.
And Catching Pinecones, what a unique and special tribute to, is it Jan and Herb Kahn?
Correct. Yeah.
Tell us more about them.
They are an extraordinary couple that I didn't really know anything about before getting involved with this project. Our director's a longtime rock climber, adventurer, outdoors guy, and he's heard of them over the years throughout his various travels and climbing routes across the country. And they did first ascents in a lot of different states, mostly South Dakota. And then in 2015, he got in touch with Jan and, just said, hey, I've always been a huge admirer of what you guys accomplished, and I'd love to know more about how you did that, how you were able to make a life where you were able to prioritize these things that you loved. And she said, come on out and visit, we'll talk. So he was able to go out and visit her, and he found that her stories were even more incredible than he thought. And at that point, her husband had already passed away, so she was at a point where she was willing and ready and kind of, I think, excited to share some of those stories. And then that's when he got in touch with me and said, hey, Parker, I think this project's more than I can take on myself. Are you interested in helping me do this film? And that was, I think, 2020, 2021.
Wow.
So it's been kind of a passion project for us since then, yeah.
And I mean, when you sit back and watch her story, they were the pioneers of climbers. They were, before even really equipment was quite used.
I think in Europe they had been using tight climbing shoes, like they do today. I think that had been starting to be developed in the 40s, but as far as I know, in the United States, they were some of the first climbers to really move away from hiking boots, mountaineering equipment, and actually start developing rock climbing specific gear, which is led to the super tight shoes that everyone wears today.
Well, and with her, Jan's spirit, I mean, just climbing a mountain without any equipment and just joy in their hearts. It was just really a beautiful way to watch someone have a reciprocal energy with nature, but also this delightful humanity combined. It was just a sweet story all together.
There's fun stories of them. Jan was a wonderful musician, and her music is featured throughout the film. Actually, that makes up the entire soundtrack. And there's stories of them climbing together by themselves in the Black Hills and her just yodeling. And so people heard her yodeling through the woods. That was kind of like a common thing out there at the time.
I mean, just what a Renaissance lady. She just knew how to play the flute and the guitar, sang her songs, like you said, all throughout the film. I was catching these adorable lyrics and this delightful music, and it ended up being her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, some of those songs, I guess, had been adapted from folk songs. She's got a song that's kind of redone the lyrics for Johnny Comes Marching Home, and then she adapted it to rock climbing. So there are a lot of just really catchy, fun little tunes that I think at the time made their way through the rock climbing community through different publications. People would share these kind of fun campfire songs, and she was, one of the people that was actually writing them and sharing them.
When you look at this film, how did you find the thread of the story? Because they were doing so many things. They were also doing cave mapping towards the latter part of their life.
They spent 22 years exploring Jewel Cave in South Dakota, and dual-handedly, the two of them together mapped over 60 miles of the cave.
So remarkable.
A huge part of this film was narrowing down which stories got told and how
Right.
they kind of flowed together. Obviously, the rock climbing and the caving were going to be the two biggest chapters, but then, we learned more about her music, and Herb was actually a very accomplished amateur mathematician. He also wrote a number of like science fiction stories. So it's just all these different things that they kind of did that we were like, how do we tie this all together? And what we came back to was just things that Jan said in her interview about how if you are interested and passionate about something and you put yourself into that, that's enough, and you'll find satisfaction in that. So that kind of helped us just move through all these different things without needing to define them as rock climbers or cavers. They were just people who were interested in life. And I think that's hopefully what comes through.
I think that's one of the biggest messages is you don't have to be a climber, you don't have to be a cave mapper, but to just know that they embrace their lives.
Yeah.
The other thing that was pretty impressive to me, Parker, was they didn't have a big living luxury. Tell us a little bit about how they lived.
You're talking about their off-the-grid
Yes.
lifestyle? Yeah.
It's
yes.
like the tiny houses of all tiny houses.
It is. I don't know the number of square feet. It's been estimated that it's around 30
square feet.
30 to 40 square feet or something like that. And it was this single room dwelling that they built up against a little, like a low cliff, as they described it, on their property, and just kind of built a stone wall and put some aluminum metal roofing over it for protection, and lived there together for 60 years.
60
Yeah.
years.
They had a phone line, but I don't think they ever had power. We did find some photos and some like journal entries that I think it was the early 80s, they installed some solar panels.
Okay.
So that's like actually pretty remarkable that they were doing that at a time. No one was putting solar panels on their roof then. I mean,
No.
Yeah.
Just an amazing story. I mean, my question to you as we wrap up is what's the final message? I was so inspired and moved, cried, heard all of the stories, and now they're both passed. It's like, what is the last message you think that Jan and Herb would want to say for people watching this?
I mean, they never sought out attention, so they wouldn't want to say anything. I feel that I have to mention that. This project was definitely done with Jan's blessing. She was supportive and excited that we were interested in this, but she also said, like, I don't need any of this attention. But that said, I think a message from just the way that they lived their life that's probably particularly relevant today is that you can find joy in something without needing attention from it. You can do something just because you love it. You don't need to get clicks or views. It doesn't matter if you're going viral. It's still meaningful, and it's still valid to do anything that you just are interested in your life.
And they did show that in every aspect of their lives. They enjoyed every minute of their life.
Yeah.
And that's something to take away as well, I think.
There's a little clip of an interview that we found from a long time ago where Jan said that at some point they did an exercise where they were trying to distill their entire life or their entire philosophy into one word. And Jan said the only thing I could come up with was fun.
And she did it.
Yeah, and
she did it.
What a great driving goal for a life.
We should take all of those notes from her. I mean, on that note, the movie is called Catching Pinecones, which happens to be the name of her play that she also wrote.
Yeah, derived from the name of a musical that she wrote.
A musical that she made. It's an amazing film. It's being filmed again tonight, or being screened tonight at 7 p.m.
Yes, at the Foundry.
And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Please come back again with another
Appreciate
great
it.
story. Thank you so much.
I'll do my best. I'm not sure we're going to top the cons, but we'll see.
Well, congratulations
Thanks.
again, and we'll be right back with our next guest here at the Media Lounge.